In this video, we'll be looking at the 2025 JAMB Physics questions on AC circuits. All right, so this is the part one. We'll have two part series on this, part one and part two. All right, let's look at the first 5 questions in part one. Part one here says, our first question here says, two inductors of inductances 3 Henry and 6 Henry are arranged in parallel, and a current of 15 amperes is passed through them. What is the energy stored in them? Okay, so you have your options here. So how do we solve this question? Now, the first thing to identify here is that in question one, you are given two inductors with inductances 3 Henry and 6 Henry. And when it comes to AC circuit, inductance is H. So it's actually L. Inductance is L. So we can have L1 as being equal to 3 Henry, and then we're given L2 as being equal to 6 Henry. So we have this. Okay. Now they said they are arranged in parallel. As you can see here, they are arranged in parallel. Our task here would now be to get the value of inductors in parallel. Okay, let's get the equivalent. When inductors are in parallel, the equivalent, let's call the equivalent LEQ. So we'll call this LEQ. In parallel, would have that 1 all over the equivalent. This is equal to 1 over L1 plus 1 over L2. So this is how you find the equivalent of inductors in parallel. If they were in series, would have that LEQ is equal to L1 plus L2. So if they're in series, to get the equivalent, simply sum them up like this. While if they're in parallel, you have to take inverse. From here, we'd have that 1 all over the equivalent is equal to 1 all over L1 is 3 Henry plus 1 all over L2 is 6 Henry. From here, if I take the LCM here, this would be equal to the LCM of 3 and 6 is actually 6. All right, so this LCM here is 6. 6 divided by 3 is 2 times 1 here. That's 2. So it becomes 2 plus, I'm having here 6 divided by 6. That's 1. 1 times the 1 upward there. That gives you 1. All right, so this is how you solve this fraction here. And this will be equal to 2 plus 1 is 3 all over 6. So from here, we can see that 1 all over the equivalent is equal to 3 over 6. To get the equivalent, I'll simply invert, all right? I'll take inverse, right? So that means LEQ goes up and the 1 comes down. So you have that LEQ, the equivalent all over 1 is equal to the 6 goes up and 3 comes down. That becomes 6 all over 3. And that gives you what there? 2. So the equivalent here is actually 2. And since we're looking for inductance, is 2 Henry. So I have the equivalent as 2 Henry. Now they said a current of 15 amperes is passed through them. All right, a current of 15 amperes is passed through them. We should find the energy. You're given current I as equal to 15 amperes. You have to find the energy. Right? Let's see this. You have to find the energy stored. All right, so the energy E, let's get the energy stored. Energy E is equal to, your formula is actually half Li squared. All right, so this is the formula to calculate the energy stored in an inductor. So please take note, you have half Li squared, and that's equal to half. What's L? The value of L we use here is the equivalent, which we got as 2. That becomes half of 2 times I squared. Right, what's I? I is 15 amperes, the current, so it becomes 15 squared. From here, 2 cancels this, and that's equal to 15 squared. I'll just get my calculator and I'll type in 15 squared. If I do that, my value gives me 225. We're looking for energy. Energy is measured in joules. So my answer here is 225 joules. So I'll check which option matches 225 joules, and that's option B. So the correct answer here is option B, 225 joules. All right, so that's how we solve the first question. Let's look at the second question here. Second question here says, in an AC circuit, the ratio of the peak value to the RMS value of current is dash. Okay, in an AC circuit, the ratio of the peak value to the RMS value of current is, now by the way, RMS means root mean square, right? Actually the ratio of the peak value to the RMS value of current is what to note here is that peak value is also called max value, right? So I peak is also called max. So I'm saying the peak value of the current is also called the maximum value of the current, and is denoted by I naught. All right. Meanwhile, for RMS, we can have that the relationship between RMS and peak is that RMS mean root mean square, is equal to I naught, that's the peak, all over square root of 2. All right. So this is how you get this. Now, in the question, we ask to find the ratio of the peak value to the RMS value of current. So peak, that means I will find a way to transform this equation such that I will have peak value of current, this all over IRMS. So how do I transform this equation here? What do I do? How do I take RMS to become your denominator and peak as numerator? What do I do? Now, if you're very good with mathematics, the concept here is very simple. This IRMS here is the same thing as IRMS all over 1. It's the same thing. To easily get your answer, this one will come here while this one goes here. They will substitute position. Mathematically, this is a correct step. In essence, root 2 goes upwards. I'm having root 2 all over 1 is equal to I naught. That's my peak value of the current, all over IRMS comes downward this way. So it becomes IRMS. Compare this to your question. They said the ratio of the peak value, that's peak as numerator, to the RMS, that's RMS as denominator. So you can see peak as numerator, RMS as denominator. The value gives you root 2 over 1. And we know that root 2 over 1 gives you root 2. So the answer is root 2. So the correct option here is option C, root 2. All right, that's the answer for C for question 2. Let's look at question 3. Question 3 here says, at what frequency will a 0.0025 kilo Henry inductor have a reactance of 146 ohms? Okay, so here are your options. How do you solve this question? First things first, let's list out the given parameters. They said at what frequency will this? You have 0.0025 kilo Henry, right? Henry is for inductance. So the first you're given this inductance L has been equal to 0.0025 kilo Henry. That's your inductance. We'll convert this to Henry, and that will be equal to 0.0025. When you have kilo, kilo is simply times 10 to the power 3. All right, that's the value of a kilo. All right, so know that K is simply equal to 10 to the power 3. That's it. Then you have Henry. So you have this. And if we punch this, if I punch this, so I'll just get my calculator and I'll punch 0.0025 times 10 to the power 3. Okay, that gives me 2.5. Okay, so that gives you 2.5 Henry. So I have this as 2.5 Henry. So the inductance is 2.5 Henry. Let's proceed with this. They said have a reactance of 146 ohms. You're given the reactance. Now, reactance is usually X. Okay, we've already covered the course of we already covered AC circuits in our previous class. I'll leave a link to a video where I explained everything you need to know about AC circuits in the video description. All right, so check the video description. You see a link to access our full class on AC circuits. Now, in our full class, we mentioned something called the reactance of an inductor, and we called it XL for an inductor. And the value of XL, or the formula for XL, is actually 2 pi FL. That's your formula. Okay, so all I have to do here is you have to find the value of the frequency. At what frequency? That means frequency is unknown, and they give you this value, that's the inductance, the reactance, to be 146 ohms. So this is equal to 146 ohms. That's the value of all of this. All right, that's the value of all of this. And you're asked to find the value of the frequency. So how do you do that? First things first, XL, or this is equal to 146. So you have that 2 times pi times f times L. What's the value of L? Look at it here, 2.5. So 2.5, so you have this, is equal to 146. Let's get the value of f. To get the value of f, I'll divide here by 2 times pi times 2.5. Divide here by 2 times pi times 2.5. So you have this. So 2 cancels 2, pi cancels pi, 2.5 cancels 2.5, f is equal to, from here, let's see what we have. 146 divided by 2 times pi times 2.5. All right, if I do this, the value of the frequency here, f, is equal to 9.29. Frequency is measured in hertz. So my answer is 9.29 hertz. Let's see the options there. If I look at the options, I can see 9.0 hertz, 9.1 hertz, 9.2 hertz, 9.3 hertz. So what do you think will be the answer? Now the answer here cannot be 9.2. If you observe here, the options are all given in one decimal place. So I'll go back here and convert this to one decimal place. So for one decimal place, f is equal to 9 point. After 2, 9 gives you a plus 1. So 2 plus 1 gives you 3. So approximately I have 9.3 hertz as my answer. And that will now be option D. All right, so option D becomes the correct answer. Okay. All right, then let's look at the next one there, which is question number 4. Question 4 says the RMS value of a supplied voltage is quoted as 400 volts. What is the approximate peak value of the voltage? Okay, the RMS value of a supply voltage is quoted at 400 volts. What is the approximate peak value of the voltage? Now, how do we solve this question 4? Now, this is a concept about RMS and peak again, as we did in question 2. Now, whether you're dealing with voltage or current, we know that V or IRMS is equal to the peak value, that's V naught, all right, that's the peak value of the voltage all over root 2. So if they said that the RMS value is quoted at 400 volts, that means V RMS is 400. That means 400 is equal to V naught all over root 2. Now, to get the value of V naught, this is all over 1. I'll cross multiply. V naught times 1, I have V naught is equal to 400 times root 2, gives you 400 root 2. Okay, let's get our calculator and punch this. 400 root 2. If I punch this correctly, my value gives me about, let's see, 565.69 approximately. 69, it's a voltage, so it should be in volts. So 565.69 volts is my answer. Going through my options, I can see 500, 560, 566, 565. They are all in whole numbers. So approximate this to the nearest whole number. To the nearest whole number, this gives you 566, gives you a plus 1. That gives you 566 volts. So your answer should be 566 volts. So you observe the way they make use of approximation here. All right. See the way they are very particular about approximation. So when you're doing this, you have to learn approximation correctly. Okay. And then approximate correctly so you can get the right answer. Okay. We'll try one more question for this video or for this part, and we'll continue the other questions in the other part. Okay. All right, let's get the next one there. Question 5. Question 5 here says that a voltage source delivers 240 V RMS to a 1200 watt plate. What is the RMS of the electric current? What do we have in this question? The first thing you have there is voltage. All right, that's 240. They said the voltage is RMS. That means you have V RMS. And I said RMS means root mean square. Okay, let's get this done. All right, so you're given VRMS. So VRMS, it's equal to, the VRMS is actually 240 volts. That's 240, okay, volts. You're also given the set to a 1200 watt plate. So the power P is equal to 1200 watts. So how do I know that's power? Well, that's simple. Power is measured in watts. So whenever you see watts, all right, that's the W here. Whenever you see W watts, as regards to electricity, then it's power. Okay. All right. So we're given the power here. You ask, what is the RMS of the electric current? So you have to find IRMS. That's electric current, RMS. Now, what do we know? Which formula connects voltage, power, and current? We know that P, the power, is equal to IV. Okay, that's a formula, IV. When I'm using the RMS, we have that power is equal to IRMS times VRMS. I'm sorry, VRMS. Let's put in value. The I, the current, the I, we got I as okay, we're looking for I. All right. So just take P 1200. That's P is equal to I. That's I R M S times the voltage V. V is 240. So I have this as 240 volts. All right. To get the value of IRMS, I'll divide this by 240. Divide this by 240. This cancels this. So it means that IRMS is equal to 1200 divided by 240. And that's about 5. Becomes 5. I is current in amperes. So I have my answer as 5 amperes. I will check which unit has 5, which option has 5 amperes. You can see that that's option D. That's 5 amperes. So I have this. All right. So the answer here is option D, 5 amperes. All right, Dad. So this is as much as we can take for part 1. We'll continue with this in part 2. Okay. All right, guys. So if you enjoyed this video, all right, guys. So I want to give you a question before we go. Okay. Let's go back to question number 3. Let's use number 3 for instance. Let's say instead of kilohertz, this was given as megahertz. So this is now, let's assume this question was 0.0025 megahertz as this, and the reactance remains the same. All right. What do you think will be the answer to question 3? Now, the options here are not necessary. Okay. Just assume that you're given 0. You can see here, you're given 0.0025. Instead of kilo, you're given megahertz. What do you think your answer would be? Leave it in the comment section. I'll give you a hint. Mega simply means 10 to the power 6. So that's your hint. All right, solve this question and leave your answer in the comment section, and I'll tell you if you are correct or not. Okay. All right, guys, don't forget that I've prepared over 100 classes for you for physics, chemistry, mathematics, and other science subjects. You can get it from my website. Simply visit www.jonahemmanuel.com/courses, and then you see the JAMB/WIRE courses, or you can join my channel membership, all right, so that you can get exclusive access to contents for just JAM and WIRE members. Okay. All right, guys. If you enjoyed this video as usual, do well to hit the like button. So like this video, all right, do hit the like button. Leave a comment. For your comments, I dropped a question earlier. Leave the answer to the question in the comment section, and I'll tell you if you're correct or not. Do well to subscribe to this channel. If it's your first time, or if you're yet to subscribe, please do well to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon so that you get notified whenever we upload a new content. And finally, share this video to your friends so that they can also learn. Thank you and see you in our next class.